Hello friends, welcome to my channel Q Analysis and I am your host Prashant Kumar. Today we are going to talk about how you can master XPath, how you can identify the objects and resolve sync issues in your test automation. In this course or in this presentation we are going to cover following main topics. Absolute and relative XPath, what is absolute XPath and what is relative XPath, how to identify XPath without any tool, how to handle dynamic objects, how to handle sync issues, working with expected conditions. So these are the 5 main topics which we are going to cover in our today's presentation. So here we go. Before I start today's presentation, I'd like to introduce you to my course, which is a 100% free course on Selenium test automation. If you're interested to learn more about Selenium test automation, feel free to try my course. It's on Skillshare. You can find the links in the description. And please give it a try and let me know your review comments. So as soon as you have installed your Selenium and you're ready to go, you have to think about the text editor. What text editor you are going to use for your automation, because it's all about the ease and your comfort. You can use Emacs, IntelliJ, Vim, or Eclipse, Sublime Text, Visual Studio Code, and Notepad++. Personally, I use Notepad++, Sublime Text, or Visual Studio Code. So they are very lightweight and easy to use, and that's the reason I'm using it. You are free to use any of the text editor of your choice. Write test well. This is a very important component while you design your automation test. Write test well. So when I say write test well, it means your test should be atomic and autonomous. Individually, they should be working fine, and when integrated, they should work in after the integration as well. It should be descriptive enough. You should provide proper comments so that even if somebody else is working on your test, they should be able to understand what exactly your test is doing. Keep it compact, scalable, so that it can be extended and it can be expanded, or whenever you need to add some different functionalities or whenever you have to perform some maintenance work, you can go ahead and update your test cases accordingly. It should be easier for you to scale, and it's stored in a version control system. So it is very important not to store your test locally, whereas to store it in a version control system. GitHub is a very popular one. You can use any one of your choice. Why use Selenium? Selenium mimics human action. It uses a few common action and works with locators. Now these are the 3 things what we need to understand before we go ahead with our automation. Whenever somebody is doing some manual testing or performing some user actions manually, same actions could be done via automation, and Selenium helps us in doing that. And whenever you perform a test case manually, the same test case, when it is done via automation, you write a Selenium script, you identify the objects and perform some action on those objects, so that whatever user actions user was doing manually, you are mimicking it and you're doing it via automation. Locator strategies. Now this is the main point of our today's discussion, which talks about locator strategies. There are different locator strategies which you can use as a part of your automation testing. While you are creating your script, you can identify object on the basis of class, CSS selectors, ID, link test, partial link test, tag name, XPath. Good locators are those locators which are unique, descriptive, and unlikely to change. Trust me, whenever you're doing some kind of automation and while your automation you're using some objects which are not very unique, or they are not very descriptive, or let's say they are likely to change, then sometime or later your automation scripts are going to fail, because if at all there is any change, then you have to do a lot of maintenance work which will cost you extra effort and time. So in order to avoid such things in future, at present, whenever you're doing your automation, you should try to identify good locators, which should be unique, descriptive, and unlikely to change. How exactly we do that? I'll show you. I'll discuss what is absolute locators or absolute XPath, what is relative locators or relative XPath, how exactly you identify it, how exactly you choose it, how to make your locator which you have selected, how to make it unique, so that even if a few of the properties are changing, your locator is still identified and your automation scripts keeps on working. Okay, So of this, link test, partial link text, tag name, these are something which are not very good candidates to be used. You should use them only in the case of emergency. For example, you don't have, many times you have some DOM object or page objects which are like very vague, or let's say they don't have any specific property. In that kind of scenario, you have to use link test or partial link test, or you know something is changing but somehow you have to take your chance and you have to make a script working. So in that case you can use something like this. If you use tag name, you will get a lot many objects, and from those objects, again using for loop, you have to identify a typical tag which you have to use and click on it or use it, which may take a little bit extra of time, and it will impact performance. Also, when you do some testing or you identify some locators where link test, partial link test, or tag name, it may take a little bit more time. So your script may run out of time and have sync issues. So further in our slide, we'll see the practical examples. How exactly are we going to solve these sync issues? Okay, friends. With this, we come to the last slide of our presentation, which talks about finding right locators. In order to find right locators, you have to inspect the page, you have to verify your selection, and debug to confirm. This is the main strategy. If you master this strategy, then trust me, going forward, you'll never look back and you'll never have any problem with identifying the locators and identifying the objects. Your object will always be there in place and your script will be like very easy. In case of automation, I personally consider when you are starting with automation and scripting, there are mainly two things which are very important for you. First, identifying the right object via right properties, and second, in order to perform what user actions you have to perform so that to mimic the human user actions. So these are the only two things which you have to consider, or which from my point of view are very important when you're doing your automation scripting. And in order to identify a right locator, we have to master these three steps, these three strategies. And how exactly we do it, I'll show you with an example. So friends, here you can see at one side of the screen you have a blank script, and then at the other side you have a Firefox browser which is having amazon.com in its URL. So we are visiting amazon.com website. And then as soon as user is visiting this website, a notification is shown like this, Amazon and COVID-19. Plus, if user clicks on this notification, then user notification will be shown to user in a new page. And if user is clicking on X, the notification will be gone. So let's say we have our first test case which says verify if amazon.com can be accessed and user is shown corona notification, and if user can cancel it, which can be cancelled. So how are we going to do it? So for this, we have three things to take care. First is URL. When user is launching the browser and typing amazon.com, the URL where he is landing, the page where he is landing, it should match to his typed query. And then second thing, this notification. So we have to inspect, as I mentioned in my strategies, three strategies. First of all, we have to identify the object, and then we have to inspect it. In order to inspect, let's do this. And as soon as you inspect it, you can also do inspect by clicking here, and then it will show you. So what we are going is inspect, and then it is highlighted, and see where it is. So inspect. So you can see it is highlighted. Now it has a unique ID which is div ID. Using this div ID, we can, as I mentioned, ID is something which is very unique and it can be used as a locator. So we are going to use this div ID. And for this cross, let's see, for closing, what is the locator? Over here, nav, up nav, dash close. So these are the two IDs which I have selected from there after inspection. And then we'll see how exactly we can use these IDs and if it is suitable for use in our script. So this we'll get to know via our debugging method. So let's see how exactly we do that. So friends, as you can see, I have created a small script for you which will do exactly the same thing what we have mentioned in our test case. First of all, we have a global object which is browser, and in this browser we are creating a WebDriver for Firefox object, and then you see something time.sleep. Time.sleep is something which is used for making your script sleep. In case none of your waits they are working and you have some sync issue, this should be your last resort when you want your script to wait. And in that case, you use time.sleep and one is for 1 second. But this is not a good practice. I don't recommend it. And then after waiting, what we do, we have this browser.get. It will go ahead and in this browser instance, it will try to visit https amazon.com. After that, you can see we have something which is known as implicit wait. Implicit wait is a built-in feature of Selenium which you can use over here. WebDriver uh, and the object WebDriver object is mentioned over here, and it will wait for 5 seconds. This is implicit wait, and then there is something which is known as explicit wait. Explicit wait is something what you give to your script, and you ask your script to wait till the time condition is fulfilled. So you see over here we are using expected conditions. So this expected condition is used for providing explicit wait, and this explicit wait can be used as many people they use assert in order to check. You instead of using assert, you can have this explicit wait, or you can have this expected conditions, and this expected condition will do the same thing. So for example, over here, wait until ec dot presence of elements located. I'm looking for xpath, and through this xpath, which is what we have selected some time back, we are checking whether this object notification object is shown or not. If notification object is shown, then we go into try except and else loop. So try and catch. So over there we are again checking if this element is present, that is close object is present, that close cross button is present, then go ahead and click on it, and then you have in case if any of this try statement is failing, something is failing, then it will go and say fail, or else it will always execute this last statement which is pass. But then friend, we are missing one thing. We also have to verify if amazon.com can be accessed. So in that case, what we have to do, if browser dot current URL if this value is present in browser.current URL, then we can say yes, our script is working fine and it is working in expected work. So what will do, if this in browser.current URL, and then in that case this case will be pass, or else this case will be fail. So friends, let's go ahead and execute it, and this will give you an idea how exactly it works. Okay, so let me save it and run it in debug mode. So what, okay, group browser, I'm running it in debug mode. So let me do this, and we have a new instance coming here, and then we click next. It will go ahead and visit the site amazon.com, and then implicit wait, and after implicit wait we are doing explicit conditional check, where it will check whether it is having this notification or not. So you click here and it passed. And how exactly you can check whether your object is working fine? So you go here and you go in your debug module, debug page, you click it and press enter, and you can see I've executed this statement in debug, and I can see a object is being identified, right? So in this way we identify the object, and the same object can be used in our test. Similarly, in try, we are having this close notif. When I say close notif, I'm talking about this one. So what I do, see, before clicking, I'll go ahead and check if this object is present. You go here, you click it, and you see, fine, so it is available. Also, what you can do, there are several other different methods which are available to you, and so many expected conditions can be used. So for example, instead of using ID, what else you can use? So let me show you. Wait until you see URL contains. So what we can do, we can check if URL has amazon.com, URL matches. If we have an exact URL that can be used, so we can give that URL over URL matches, and then we can give the exact URL whatever we need. Or else you can try visibility of the element, visibility of element located, and then instead of presence you can use visibility till the time the object is visible. If it is not visible, then in that it presents, what it said is it checks whether the object is present or not. But if the object is visible, it is completely loaded or not, that can be checked over here. And then again you can find it via xpath, and you can give all the details. You can also try giving different other locators by, you can use class name, you can use CSS selector, you can use ID, you can use link text, you can also use name, partial text, tag name, and XPath. I've been using XPath, but you can use all of this. And all you need to do, in the next variable, you have to pass the value. So in this way, you can identify all the objects freely. All you need to do is identify the object, just inspect it, and after inspecting, debug it, and then use it in your script. So now when we click on, let me do one thing more. We have this script here. I go ahead, and then when you click here, test result failed because something is wrong. We have some exception coming up, and because of that, this script failed because I started in between and stopped it. Let us do a quick fresh run again. So I closed it. Try. So here we are. Let me run it again in the debug mode, so it becomes more visible to you that this script is working. So we have browser instance created, a WebDriver instance created, and once we have it, just a moment, it is ready over here. Now we are visiting amazon.com. As soon as we visited amazon.com, we can see the notification, you see, and then we go ahead, implicit wait. This is our explicit wait till the time user is seeing this notification, and then we are entering into try catch loop, and over here wait till the object, this cross object is being seen, and if it is seen, go ahead and click. So you see it has been clicked, and now we enter in this if else loop. Over here it will check the URL matches to the amazon.com. Yes, no, something is wrong. Browser. So we can check it again. https amazon.com. Okay, you see friends, here we have www, and here I have used https amazon.com. So there was a mismatch, because of which it was not working. So I'll go ahead and change it, amazon.com, and let's run it again. I hope this time it's a very simple one, and this should work fine. You should be able to see the object, and here we are. Okay, so this is our new Firefox instance, amazon.com, www, and then implicit wait, explicit wait, try catch, and then it will check for the notification object, that is cross the notification object. If it will find it, it will move to the next step, and then here it will close it. And then if it will check amazon.com is there, yes, and then test case will pass. So in this way, our test case is executed. Similarly, you have to use the same techniques for each and every object, and you can use different kind of conditions, expected conditions, so as to help you to identify. I personally find expected condition very good, because I don't have to use assert. At the same time, I don't have to use if else loop, and it becomes very good for me to use one expected condition and then it will fulfill all the condition. If the expected condition is met, then my test case is but obvious pass. If it is not meeting, then just report the exception or whatever issue it is and mark it as fail. So with this, we come to the end of our presentation. I'm your host Prashant Kumar, QA evangelist and software testing enthusiast. I have 14 years of experience as a Java developer, business analyst, test consultant, and quality head at major IT firms and investment banks across different startups within USA, UK, Switzerland, Germany, and India. Feel free to get in touch. You can always be in touch with me via LinkedIn, or you can comment to any of the videos and ask me any of your queries. Also, you can refer to any of my courses. Friends, feel free to join my courses. I do have few courses on Skillshare and they are 100% free. All you get 2 months of free subscription if you use the links given in the description. So this is one of the course. If you wish to pursue your career as a software test engineer or a quality professional, I'll be covering different topics, and within 1 hour of time, you'll get a very good idea how exactly software testing industry works and what are the things you should work upon and what could be your career path and how can you grow in software testing industry. The second course which I have on Skillshare is Learn Automation Testing with Selenium in 1 hour. This is also a very interesting course, and with this also you get 2 months of free subscription to Skillshare. You can learn, and please provide your feedback for this course. Within 1 hour, you'll get to know how exactly to do automation testing with Selenium and lot many different type of concepts. Feel free to share your feedback and get in touch with me via LinkedIn or YouTube, or I am also on Twitter. You can follow me there. Thank you, friends. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to your support.